Welcome, snails. Today we'll be discussing gods. Gods are the producers within the divine cycle. They take mortal thoughts and turn it into soul. Soul empowers the environment with life, allowing for population growth and massive amounts of biodiversity. Gods, unlike titans and devils, are all one related species that follow a three-stage life cycle: seed, bud, and bloom. I'll be using a thunder god as an example. Seed. In this stage, the god is small, nearly microscopic. They travel around using low-level telepathy to find a source of consistent thoughts. Once they do, they take root nearby. For example, a seed could find a group of mortals questioning about how storms work. It is a perfect place for a god to start developing. Bud. This is the stage the god starts to grow and develop attractive features to draw attention to itself, using the mortal's ideas to fit what they already believe. The god can only keep this form stable for a small amount of time. For example, our thunder god taking on a more humanoid form and growing branches with flowers resembling drums on its back. For the mortals that worship it believe that it smacks the drums to create the thunder. It will appear when storms are around and gain more attention for itself. Bloom, the final stage of a god. A god is considered bloomed once it has enough soul to keep its form fully stable and share it with the environment. This is also when they'll start to develop more specific magical abilities. Our thunder god is now always around and can summon thunder on its own. You can see the cycle gods create for food. The mortals believe a god can do something, smacking its drum to create thunder. The god, once bloomed, uses its soul to do that, reinforcing the people's belief in it. Now, there are some strange alternatives to this life cycle. When a god is a seed, it can infect a mortal or a titan. These are considered to be chosen, beings that are already receiving worship but aren't feeding off of it. The seed will infect them and slowly merge with their own soul, changing them into a god. Once a chosen god fully blooms, it is no longer any different from any other god. Seeds do this as an easy way to speed up development, but can be very risky. If the chosen dies, the god dies too. So for the chosen, they gain a significant boost to their soul. There are also legend gods, gods that take on the appearance of a mortal that has been greatly remembered and has long passed, becoming the idolized version of this mortal. There is much debate whether or not they are the mortal they once were or simply a lie. Gods like to specialize in worship and ideals. They like being known because then the thoughts are more directed towards them as an individual. Things that increase worship, like praying, ceremonies, churches, statues, rituals, traditions, and more, all help a god grow. The more you think about your god, the stronger they'll be, the stronger the environment will be, and the stronger you'll be. Gods can be killed if they lose worship. They'll start to rot. This will make them desperate for thoughts to the point they'll willingly torture or even turn people insane just to feed. These are considered to be cursed gods. A god can become so desperate it will become a devil, but a devil can never become a god. Gods do mate, but rarely with each other, unless they're pantheon gods. Pantheon gods live in closer groups. Usually starts with one god that instead of dealing with random gods popping up, they cultivate seeds to make gods better suit their environment. This god is considered to be the parent or the head god. Gods will consider themselves siblings if they grow up with each other. Gods can mate with their siblings and parents to create seeds. Their biology is just very different from what you would expect, snails. A fully bloomed god can use its power to mate with non gods. This creates demigods, beings with a lot of souls but aren't producers like their godly parent. Demigods can be very dangerous to the environment, but are great hosts for seeds. Demigods are very, very rare. Gods tend to be clean stone deities, meaning the environment is dependent on them for stability. These environments are their domain. Gods don't like other gods eating from their food sources. so this will lead to them getting into conflict. Our thunder god running into a lightning god. They can either fuse a mutual agreement of two gods becoming one, or battle either each other or through their worshippers, with the stronger god simply consuming the weaker one. Now, the afterlife. Some gods promise an afterlife for mortals that worship them. It is said that when you pass on, the god will take your entire mind and store it somewhere, where your consciousness will now exist in a metaphysical realm. Only the most powerful gods are able to do this, and you can never really tell if a god is being truthful about whether or not they have an afterlife, since you can only get there once you pass on. And since my mind just moves on to my next life, not even I can confirm if they're real or not. Gods are some of the most powerful deities within the realms. They are the producers that create soul, and they are the ones that benefit the most from mortals, especially mankind. As since the rise of mankind, gods have grown more and more powerful. This has made environments healthier, but the downside is also caused the risk for corruption to grow further. So snails, be careful what god you worship. Make sure their intentions are pure. And remember, in these realms you either need to adapt or go extinct.